Hello everyone, day 35. So I'm kind of getting closer. Today is Sunday and this Friday, in 5 days I will be going out of that fasting. And this is just kind of wrap up, some kind of summary, what I've been experiencing so far up to this 35 days. Well, I have to tell you that after you cross 30 days, it's actually become really challenging, because now, before 30, I was training, I was doing practically everything physically as I used to do, but when I crossed 28 and 30, yeah, I feel like my body getting weaker. So if I would be some kind of animal, probably it would be already dangerous zone, because as soon as I try to do something physical, I feel that my body kind of not capable, it's not enough power, not enough energy. And so hunting probably would be already difficult if I would be some animal somewhere in the forest or whatever. But at the same time, I understand that this particular what I do is very artificial, because I had no even drop of food for that, all that period of time, starting from February, from the beginning of February. Now it's already mid of March. And in a real situation, animals, they could find something, at least, some berries, some mushrooms or kind of nuts or anything. If you cannot catch that, at least it's not like pure fasting as I do right now. So of course I am depleting my energy kind of in a more rapid way. And I haven't experienced any kind of spiritual revelations so far. Maybe because my intention for this particular fasting, 40 days, was more up to health, maybe. Maybe because I'm not a religious person, so I don't really, some people describing, different things. I mean, it happened with me several times before in my previous fastings, spiritual in a way that I felt something is, changing, kind of my belief system was changing and other things are changing. This time I just going to describe several kind of interesting things, because maybe you could be curious what actually happening. There were maybe 4 or 5 different occasions which I could kind of share with you. For example, like 2 weeks ago approximately, I was walking on the streets and suddenly my hearing just exploded. I mean, I started to hear much more kind of powerful way. What I mean is that my hearing just improved suddenly, almost like with a boom, and then I hear things. For example, I was walking near to some kind of cafe or restaurants. The restaurant was with the closed doors, but I could hear conversations inside of people precisely what they are talking about, and actually I was surprised because the hearing just improved. And right now, I don't think right now I have the same level of that hearing as I experienced that time, but definitely better than it was before when I started fasting. So like hearing, for example, something cleaned there, and now it's better. And there were some interesting things. For example, there was one dream. Dream is kind of, it's almost funny, ridiculous, because all that time I told you I don't really have kind of cravings, but in that dream I remember the essence of the dream is that actually I experienced enormous wave of anger, and I perceived that particular. I woke up like, wow, why I'm so angry? I mean, the point is that probably is energy somewhere in the energy field. There was some kind of concealed anger, and that the dream kind of released it as a result. I mean, that during fasting those things happened, but the point why I felt that anger was very ridiculous, because I was about to have to eat a huge piece of pork. I mean, I don't know, I don't crave about pork, I don't really eat that kind of stuff, on a regular basis. I don't, but in a dream probably that was the kind of excuse because I was about to eat that kind of huge piece of pork, and the guy just took some, some chunk of, the amount of sand and throw it on my pork. And I look at him, and I was so like a wave of anger and like all over my body. But when I woke up, I understood that it's not about pork, it's not about anything, it's just about releasing energy. And so it was release of some kind of, some kind of concealed probably energy spot. Another thing was also quite interesting happened is that I remember that all night practically, or at least half of the night, I was waking up probably 20 times, like very regular waking up. And every time I was waking up with a feeling of falling down. So it's really interesting what is going on. I mean, you know that when you fall down, it's like a free fall. Yeah, you feel like your stomach and everything goes up. When when you're on an airplane and an airplane is diving suddenly. So it's like when your body is losing weight, you feel that. Probably those cosmonauts are feeling it all the time, but they used to it. But I felt it like every time when I'm waking up, I was waking up with that feeling of falling. And okay, it's once, but like 20 times one night. Yeah, that was also quite, I don't know what it means, I don't know what is it for, but yeah, that was weird. And obviously, lots of interesting things going on during fasting. So I was just kind of describing you some there were a few more occasions, I don't even remember with what that related, but there is nothing really substantial, there is no visions or any kind of, talks with the God or whatever some people describe, like 40 days is some kind of super dramatic. In terms of health, well, I'm getting weaker, for sure. It's 35 days of completely not eating, just water. I am kind of psychologically tired of being outcast. Like the first 4 weeks, at least my wife was not here, I was fasting by myself, it's okay. But when my wife came, of course, I feel like, I cannot participate, we don't even realize how food is actually not just eating and not just feeding our body, it's actually a way of socializing, it's a way of having rest, it's a variety of life, it's different smells, tastes, it's sharing experiences, it's communication, it's socializing. It's just so much more than just food. And you don't really appreciate it, you don't really realize it unless you lose it. So now when you are not eating, it's just what you do. You work and you sit. I don't know. When you rest. Or, I don't know, watch something or walk. It's kind of, the feeling is like your life is kind of depleting in terms of variety, in terms of fun, in terms of, people having parties. Right now, like there was a nice weather, I'm going out, everybody's eating, everybody's enjoying. Yeah, that part I kind of missed, kind of looking forward to get back to. And yeah, it's nice to stop and heal your body, but of course, when you cross a certain particular amount of days and it's already like 1.5 months of being isolated, yeah, of course, psychologically I'm getting tired of that. So looking forward, on Friday it's going to be the last day. Saturday I'm gonna start that juice exit, and I'm gonna have it for approximately 5-6 days of juice, and then slowly I need to wake up my digestive system because it's completely shut down, so it cannot right now operate. It was resting for like almost 6 weeks. Well, that's pretty much my report, and I hope that it was useful. Now you know what to expect, you know where the limits are. Unfortunately, I still don't have hunger. I was looking forward to experience what that true hunger really is. And my tongue is 100% pinky. You see, there is nothing even close left, white stuff or any intoxication. So the body is clean, but somehow I don't have what was described before as like a real end of the fasting of 40 days, supposed to be somewhere like a real hunger supposed to come. So I'm not hungry. And well, yeah, probably it's everything individually. And probably when you fast, when you are 20, 30 I mean, the metabolism is higher, so the whole processes is getting quicker. Maybe my 40 days now, because I'm already kind of 53, my 40 days now, it's almost like, maybe 20 or 30 days for people who are 20. So yeah, maybe I need to fast longer, but to be honest, I'm not right now kind of in the mood going more than 40. I think it's enough because I already have difficulties to operate in terms of training and having like a normal life. Because I don't want really fasting to be some kind of end of the world. So I was doing literally everything what I supposed to do, and my webinars and work and training and everything. And I'm still doing, but training becomes seriously difficult. I cannot sustain physical kind of activity. So this is my 35 day, and in 5 days, I don't know if I'm gonna make video maybe or not, in this Friday, but if I do, it will be like, hi, it's the last day, and that's it. So probably I'm kind of more or less done. So I hope all that experience was kind of useful for you to observe. You know what to expect. And the most interesting thing right now, what I expect from that fasting is, of course, the whole process of rebuilding, because the idea is not just the body eats, of course, all those potential tumors and all that unnecessary stuff. It getting rid of everything what is not belonging to the body. But what also important is that the body eats lots of tissues. I mean, right now I'm very thin. Probably I'm like from 70 I moved kilos, I moved to 58 or something. And what will happen is that body start to rebuild, practically grow again. And that process is actually extremely powerful, because growing take place when you were a teenager. When you after you're 28, you already stop growing. It's just kind of keeping the same level. So now it's real growing, which means that the body will start to produce those hormones and all those kind of, it's like everything related to the youth. It's right now supposed to be activated. That's why it's a second kind of essential part of the fasting. When we are talking about long fasting, then we are losing lots of tissues. And so what I expect is that some kind of rebuilding and rejuvenating kind of the whole body, because bodies start to grow, and normally we haven't experienced it since teenagers. So yeah, that's a growing part, supposed to kind of boost energy, supposed to bring some hormones, supposed to improve, I don't know, the skin, improve everything. So during fasting, you cannot expect like a change of experience, your appearances, because body is kind of coping with the fasting. But that period after fasting, that's extremely important. And that's why the exit is so important. If you do something wrong, that you're going to spoil the whole effect of the fasting. So we'll see what's going to happen after I start to kind of recover. All right? Thank you very much, guys. It was nice kind of keeping you around, and thank you very much for all your comments, for all your support. And maybe some of you will be inspired or whatever. And if you have any questions here, you are more than welcome to post me, and I will try to answer. Bye-bye, everyone.